Okay, let's continue with the level of measurement. So for level of measurements, we have 4 different types of level of measurements in statistics. The first one is a nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio. So for nominal, you just remember that nominal is just a naming or labeling that variables. Naming or label. Okay. Meanwhile, for the ordinal is to measure the non-numeric concept. Okay. For example, satisfaction, happiness, discomfort. Okay. Non-numeric concept. Okay. Remember, non-numeric concept. Okay. For the interval, we measure the numeric concept. Okay, so for interval, we have numeric scales lah. Okay, for example, interval, difference between 50 and 60 degree. Okay. Or we can write also like this lah, in interval. 50 and 60. Okay. Meanwhile, for the ratio, let's say the example for ratio is for weight and height. So, for example, like weight, you can say that ratio in weight may be more than 50 kilos, less than 35 kilograms, or height less than 5 feet, less than 160 centimeter, and so on. Okay. Okay, this one is an example for the nominal, ordinal, interval, ratio. So ratio can be time, can be salary, can be age. And then for the interval, it can be IQ test, temperature, and so on. Okay, this one is some sampling techniques. So sampling techniques, random, systematic, stratified, cluster, and convenient. Okay, for easiest way to understand what is a sample, what is a random, what is systematic, stratified, you can see this website. Okay, in this website, they already differentiate between this, what is a random, what is systematic, stratified, cluster. So when you read this one, random, we can take the sampling of the data using the random techniques. So random meaning that we just randomly pick anybody from the sample. Okay. Meanwhile, for the systematic, let's say we take this person. So we need to take these persons also. And then next this person. And then next this person. So you can see that this is a systematic way. So this one 2, 2, 2, 2. Okay. And then the third one is stratified. So stratified is a divide population into groups. And samples are randomly selected within groups. So meaning that we have a big group of populations and then we divide that group of populations into the groups. So you can see that this is a different groups and this is a two different. The first one is a green groups and the second one is a blue groups. So for the stratified sample, we take randomly from that group. Maybe we take this one. So from the green group, we take this one and this one. From the blue group, we take this person, and this person. Okay, for the cluster, we divide population into groups, cluster, and then randomly selected some clusters. Okay, so meaning that coming from the population also, and then we divide that population into cluster. So cluster. So this cluster, okay, and then we select randomly. Maybe we select this cluster. or we want to select this cluster. Okay. And then for the convenient, okay. Example for the convenient, like surveys, maybe more surveys or any surveys lah. So the convenient sample, you can see that this one. Okay, from the surveys. Okay. So in this statistic in our chapter, we just cover only 5 lah. Random, systematic, stratified, cluster, and convenient. But in the examples from this website, they also give us a voluntary response sample, purposive snowball samples. But here we just cover until convenient samples. Okay. So this is if you want to see the website, this is a website. Maybe I can give you the link for this website and you can read it by yourself. Okay. Maybe I just put here. Control C. Can put here. Alright. Okay. Methodologies/sampling methods. Alright. And then the second one is observational study and experimental study. So for the observational study, the research merely observe. So if you want to differentiate between observe and experimental, you must remember that observe, that research is observe and try to make conclusion based on observation. Okay. And for the experimental, that research is going to manipulate the independent variable and dependent variable in the experiment process. Okay. And then the last one is uses and misuses of statistics. So uses and misuses of statistics, there are lots of uses and misuses of statistics. Even our daily lives also, some of the people, they use statistics sometimes for their benefit, sometimes for their, maybe for their advantages and so on. I don't want to say anybody, but you can try to Google it, the sample of uses and misuses in statistics. There's lots of people in our worldwide that they love statistics and they just a simple say that they use data for their own purpose. Okay. So in here, uses and misuses statistics, you can see that there are suspect samples, ambiguous averages, and then changing the subject, detached statistic, implied connection, and so on. Maybe they manipulate the graphs, they misleading the graphs, they faulty survey equations, and so on. Okay. Okay, I think that's all for chapter 1. So thank you.